One day, Prefect Wei held a great vegetarian feast for the master Huineng. After the meal, the prefect respectfully invited the master to ascend the Dharma seat. He, the officials, and the lay believers composed themselves, bowed to the master again, and asked, "Your disciples have heard you, Venerable, expound the Dharma, and it is truly subtle and beyond conception. Now I have some doubts, and I hope the Venerable, in great compassion, will explain them, especially for us." The master said, "Whatever doubts you have, bring them out at once, and I will explain them for you." Prefect Wei said, "Is the Dharma you teach not the very heart of the Patriarch Bodhidharma's teaching?" The master said, "It is." Prefect Wei said, "Your disciple has heard that when Bodhidharma was first guiding Emperor Wu of Liang, the emperor asked, 'All my life I have built temples, ordained monks, given alms, and held vegetarian feasts. What merit is there in this?' Bodhidharma said, 'In truth there is no merit at all.' Your disciple does not understand this. I hope the Venerable will explain it." The master said, "Truly there is no merit to speak of. Do not doubt the words of the ancient sage. Emperor Wu's mind held wrong views. He did not recognize the true Dharma nature. To build temples, ordain monks, give alms, and hold feasts is only to seek the tainted blessings of gods and humans. Do not mistake these blessings for merit lies within the Dharma body. It is not to be sought in the doing of meritorious deeds." The master continued, "To recognize self-nature is merit. To regard all beings as equal is virtue. When in thought after thought there is no obstruction, and you always see the true and wondrous functioning of the true suchness of your nature, this is called merit and virtue. Inner humility is merit. Outward conduct according to propriety is virtue. To establish all dharmas from the true suchness of self-nature is merit. The substance of the mind being free of all deluded thoughts is virtue. Not to depart from self-nature in thought after thought is merit. To apply the mind in 10,000 ways without being stained is virtue. If you wish to seek the merit and virtue Dharma body, only practice in this way, and this is true merit and virtue. One who truly cultivates merit and virtue does not in his mind slight others, but respects all beings universally. One whose mind constantly slights others, who has not cut off attachment to self, has no merit. One whose own nature is false and unreal has no virtue. This is because, attachment to self being uncut, he exalts himself and constantly looks down on all things. Good friends, unbroken continuity in thought after thought is merit. The mind's conduct being even and upright is virtue. To cultivate your own nature is merit. To cultivate your own conduct is virtue. Good friends, merit and virtue must be seen within, in self-nature. They cannot be sought through almsgiving and offerings. This is how blessing differs from merit. Emperor Wu did not recognize this truth. He could not enter it. The fault was not our patriarchs. Prefect Wei asked again, "Your disciple often sees monastics and lay people reciting the name of Amitabha Buddha, vowing to be reborn in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. Please, Venerable, explain whether such practice can bring rebirth there and dispel the doubt in my mind." The master said, "Listen carefully, Prefect, and I will explain. In the city of Shravasti, the Buddha Shakyamuni spoke the scriptures that draw beings to the West. Clearly, he pointed out that the Western Pure Land is not far from here. If we speak in terms of form, the West is 108,000 li from the Saha world. But these 108,000 li are really a symbol of the 10 evils and 8 wrong paths and beings. Because the 10 evils and 8 wrongs stand in the way, the West is said to be far. To call the Western Pure Land far is spoken according to form, for ordinary people of dull capacity. To call it near is spoken according to nature, for people of sharp capacity and high wisdom. People's capacities may be sharp or dull, But the Dharma is not of two kinds. Because beings differ in delusion and awakening, the time of seeing one's nature differs in speed. The deluded recite the Buddha's name and seek rebirth in the Western Pure Land, clinging to form. The awakened only purify their own mind. So the Buddha said, as the mind is purified, the Buddha land is purified. Prefect, if a person of the East only makes his mind pure, he has no offense. And even a person of the West, if his mind is impure, has fault all the same. People of the East, having created wrongdoing, recite the Buddha's name and seek rebirth in the West. But if people of the West create wrongdoing, to what land would they recite the Buddha's name to be reborn? Ordinary foolish people cannot awaken to self-nature and do not know that within their own body there is a pure land. So they vow to be reborn in the East or the West. For the awakened, every place is alike a pure land. So the Buddha said, wherever the body dwells, it constantly finds peace and joy. Prefect, only let the ground of your mind be without unwholesomeness. In the Western Pure Land is not far. But if the ground of the mind is unwholesome, reciting the Buddha's name and vowing rebirth will hardly reach it. Now I urge you, good friends, first to remove the 10 evils, and this is to have walked 100,000 li. Then to remove the 8 wrongs, and this is to have walked another 8,000. If in thought after thought you see your own nature, and always make your conduct even and upright, then reaching the Western Pure Land is as quick as a snap of the fingers, and you will see Amitabha Buddha. Prefect, only practice the 10 good deeds, and what need is there to vow rebirth besides? But if you do not cut off the mind that creates the 10 evils, what Buddha would come to welcome you to the Pure Land? If you can awaken to the sudden teaching of no birth and no death, seeing the Western Pure Land takes but an instant. If you cannot awaken, then reciting the Buddha's name and vowing rebirth, the road to the West is long, and how could you reach it? I will move the West here for you all in a single instant, so that you can see it at once. Would you all wish to see the Western Pure Land? The assembly bowed to the Master Huineng and said, if we could see the Western Pure Land right here, why would we need to vow rebirth there besides? We hope the Venerable, in compassion, will reveal the Western Pure Land by skillful means, so that all of us may see it. The Master Huineng said, listen, all of you, a person's physical body is like a city. The eyes, ears, nose, and tongue, the sense faculties, are like the gates of the city. Outside there are 5 gates, and within there is 1 gate, the gate of mind. The mind is the ground. Nature is the king. The king of nature dwells upon the ground of the mind. While self-nature does not depart from the ground of the mind, the king is present. Once self-nature departs from the ground of the mind, the king too is gone. So while nature is present, body and mind both exist. Once nature departs, body and mind both decay. To become a Buddha, seek within self-nature. Never seek to become a Buddha outside the body. If self-nature is diluted, you are an ordinary being. If self-nature awakens, you are a Buddha. With a mind of compassion, you yourself are Avalokiteshvara. With the gift of joyful giving, you yourself are Mahastama Prapta. Able to purify body and mind, you yourself are Shakyamuni. With a mind even and upright, you yourself are Amitabha. To make distinctions of self and others in your mind is to raise a Sumeru mountain blocking the true way. To give rise to greedy desire and wrong thoughts is to raise the surging waters of the great sea. Ignorance and affliction are the rolling waves. A malicious mind is a fierce, evil dragon. Falsehood and arrogance are the harassing ghosts and spirits. Toiling endlessly in the dust is to be like fish and turtles. Greed and anger blazing are to build your own hell. Folly that will not be transformed is to be a witless beast. Good friends constantly practice the 10 good deeds, and heaven appears before you. Remove the distinction of self and others, and the Sumeru mountain topples. Still the mind of greedy desire, and the sea water dries up. Let affliction not arise, and the waves subside. Forget the malicious mind, and the fish and dragons vanish. Then upon the ground of your own mind, the awakened nature of true suchness naturally sends out great light. Outwardly it shines on the six sense gates, pure and unstained, able to break the deeds of desire in the six heavens of the desire realm. Inwardly it shines on the original nature of the mind, dispelling the three poisons of greed, anger, and delusion, so that the offenses leading to hell are extinguished together. When inside and out are thus bright and clear, it is just like the pure Western, pure land of ultimate bliss. Without such practice, how could you reach the Western Pure Land? Hearing the Master Huineng's teaching, the assembly understood clearly and saw their own nature. They bowed to the Sixth Patriarch with reverence and praised him with one voice, saying, "How excellent!" And they proclaimed, "May all beings of the Dharma realm who hear this at once awaken." The Master said, "Good friends, if you wish to practice and study the Buddha Dharma, you may do so at home. You need not leave home and dwell in a temple. A lay person who can practice according to the Dharma is like a person of the East whose mind is good. One who lives in a temple but cannot practice according to the Dharma is like a person of the West whose mind is not good. Only let your own mind be pure, and that is the Western Pure Land of your own self-nature." Prefect Wei asked again, "How should a lay person practice? May the Venerable instruct us." The Master said, "I will speak for you all a formless verse. Only practice according to it, and it will be as if you were always together with me. If you do not practice in this way, then even if you shave your head and leave home, what benefit is there for the way?" The verse said, "With an even mind, what need to keep the precepts? With upright conduct, what use to cultivate Chan? Knowing gratitude, you care for father and mother. Understanding what is right, high, and low, feel for each other. Knowing deference, noble and humble live in harmony. Able to bear insult, you stop a host of evils. If you can practice diligently as in drilling wood for fire, from the mud a red lotus is sure to bloom. What is bitter to the mouth is the medicine that heals. What grates on the ear is surely faithful, helpful counsel. Correcting your faults, you are sure to give rise to wisdom. Shielding your shortcomings, your mind is no sage within. In daily life, always benefit others. Attaining the way is not by giving money alone. Bodhi is only to be sought within the mind. Why toil to seek the profound outside? Hear my verse and practice accordingly, and the Western Pure Land is right before your eyes." The Master Huineng said again, "Good friends, you must all practice according to this verse to see and take hold of the true suchness of self-nature and directly accomplish the Buddha path. Time does not wait for anyone. Let us part for now. I am returning to Kyoxi. If any of you have doubts, come to Kyoxi and ask me." At that time, Prefect Wei, the officials, and the good men and faithful women who had listened in the assembly each found their minds opened and their understanding freed. They came to some awakening, received it in faith without doubt, and resolved to put it into practice.